everyone, it's Redhead Boo here, back with a new video. Sorry I haven't been uploading recently. I don't remember when I last filmed a video or when I last uploaded a video. So this video is going to be a very interesting one because this video is going to be a story time about something that happened to me on Tuesday night. But before I do start explaining what happened, I just want to say this does include spoilers. So if you are a fan of Darren Brown, or if you're going to his latest tour, Showman, then I advise you not to watch this video because something happened to me at his show and I thought, let's talk about it for my YouTube channel and yeah. But before I begin, I also wanted to show you all something. So I was actually sent a signed photo from Derren, which I thought was amazing. So basically on Tuesday the 5th of October, me and my mum got 2 tickets to go and see Darren Brown at Bradford Alhambra Theatre. So this was a birthday treat for me because I didn't know what I wanted for my birthday, and we booked this end of August, and I saw on Facebook that he was coming and we booked really last minute tickets. And to say they were last minute tickets as well, like we were so close to the front. We were 4th row, sort of to the left hand side, well right hand side if you're looking at it from the stage, and we were so close. It was the best show, honestly the best show I ever think I've ever seen in my life. It's something very different because I don't really see a lot of like magicians, illusionists, whatever you want to describe him as. I just go and see like concerts, but if you've been watching my channel for a long time now, you may know that Bradford Alhambra is one of them theatres, one of them venues that is so special to me because ever since I was about 5 or 6 years old, I think, every year we do try and go to that theatre to see a show, normally for pantomimes, but I do see other stuff there as well, and the fact that I got involved in something on Tuesday at that theatre just made it so much more special to me. Like, it had an effect on me, and yeah, something I'll never ever 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 forget in my life, ever. So I'm also going to point out I may not remember everything that happened because it sort of includes some things that, well, it'll make sense when I explain. So at the start of the show, this spoils the start of the show, so if you are going, please do not watch, because trust me, it does ruin it a bit, sorry. So at the start of the show, this phone just started ringing and ringing and ringing. No one knew like what was going to happen because when you go see Derren, you're not allowed really to spoil it. Like if you're doing a review or anything, you're not meant to give too much away about the show. If you know someone who's going, you can't exactly tell them about it because then they know what to expect. Like, I was quite nervous when I went to see him. I mean, I was excited, of course I was, it's me. But I was also really, really nervous because it's the fear of the unknown with him. You never know what he's going to do. You never really know. I mean, you can sort of guess the theme of the show from the title or, yeah. So with him, it is very much the fear of the unknown. You don't know what is going to happen during the show. You don't know if there's going to be any clues around the theatre, because usually on his TV shows, theatre shows he's done in the past, he's had a few little hints about what's going to happen, but there was absolutely nothing. I had no hints. The only thing I knew was going to be a thing was that on his Twitter and social media, he put out a video saying that if you're coming to see him at a certain date or venue, please bring a sentimental item from home that has sentimental value to you and has a bit of a story behind it. So that was the only thing I knew was going to happen. Everything else was a complete surprise. So the show started about 7:30, 25 to 8, I think, and the phone was ringing. No one knew if someone had to answer it or if Darren would come out and answer it himself and then the show would just begin. But it was ringing for a long, long time, and the spotlights just all started pointing to the phone. And there was sort of like, I don't know how to describe it. There was a back wall with these two doors, and it was like blank, and it had like, I think it had like statues of angels on it, and it had like words and stuff on it. And it's hard to explain. But then this word flashed up on this screen saying anyone, a question mark, question mark, question mark. So we were all like, someone has to go and answer the phone. But I was tempted to go and answer it, but I was also petrified because I've seen a lot of Darren shows on TV. I know he does some unexplainable, amazing stuff, like hands down amazing stuff, but he also absolutely terrifies me, not gonna lie. So I was umming and ahhing for a long time about whether or not to get up on stage and answer the phone. And I nearly sat on the edge of my seat. I nearly stood up and just went and answered it. But there was a guy sat in the front row and he decided to get up, walk over the stage and answer the phone. And when he answered the phone, none of the audience could hear what was being said, what the instructions were on the phone, so we had absolutely no idea what was going on. We were just literally watching and waiting for something to happen. And then I noticed that there was these two stagehands, I think members of Darren's crew, who brought on almost like a hospital bed on wheels, and I just remember gasping. Like that could have been me because I was so close to standing up, so close. And yeah, it did frighten me a bit because he was sort of, I don't know how to describe it, he was sort of swaying a bit and he just fell asleep on the bed and was took backstage. I'm not going to explain what happened with the man because, again, it might ruin the show and I do not want to do that in any way. But something happened to the man, something truly amazing. And I do think if I did go to see the show again at any other venue, then I do think I'd answer the phone because I now know nothing bad happens. So, yeah. And then after Darren played a little game with the audience, he said, if any of you want a similar experience to, I think his name was Ben or Dan, I can't quite remember now, but he said, if you want a similar experience, then stand up. So, me being me, I stood up. Quite a lot of people also stood up. And you had to put your hands like that and press your thumbs like that. Yeah. And you had to put your arm out. And you were told when you had to push your hands together, when you try and break them apart, for some people they'd break apart, others they would just stick more. And it's the weirdest thing ever. I I still can't explain what happened or how it happened. I do not know. But all I know is that my hands were stuck. Like, it was almost as if my hands were covered in like super glue or something, and every time I put them together even more, they'd just stick and just would not come apart. And then we all got put to sleep, and that in itself is terrifying, but also absolutely, it's the weirdest thing ever. Like, I always thought I'd be quite good at being put to sleep and being like hypnotised, because I'm a very relaxed person. I went to the show with a completely open mind. Like, I thought, if I get hypnotised, I get hypnotised. If I don't, I don't. But like, I was very much susceptible to what he was going to do, not knowing what he was going to do at all as well. And when he put us all to sleep, the people who were successful slept, the people who weren't didn't. And it is very odd. Like, your head just drops, your eyes shut, your breathing's completely normal, so it's nothing to worry yourself over. But it was just the best experience, the weirdest one ever. And you can sort of hear talking, because obviously he's still talking to the people who were sat down and focusing on people who actually still stood up. And I sort of heard that apparently he said that he's going to make everyone whose hands are stuck together still break apart when we wake up. And when that happens, this was so strange, I don't know how it happened, but he said that the memory of your first name will just vanish. So you'll be able to remember other people's names, you'll be able to remember your last name. The first name, you will not remember at all. And usually, I have such a good memory, like I can remember anything. And I remember waking up and something didn't feel normal. I don't know what it was, because I was asleep, so my brain wasn't, it was taking stuff in, but it was also like not at the same time, I guess. And it's so weird now thinking about it, but there was something in my brain, but it was almost as if there was like a physical barricade between it, like something blocking my name from coming to me, from like being able to come out my mouth and say it. Like, I just couldn't. And I remember him saying, if you're with someone, look at them, have them look at you, and see if anything comes through. Absolutely nothing was coming through to me, because I turned around and looked at my mum, and I do remember her saying, do you seriously not know what it is? And I just said, no, I don't. And then he said, I do want to speak to a few of you who have forgotten your name. So if you have forgotten your name, if the hand thing worked, come over to the steps by the stage and I'll chat to you. So I got up out my seat, walked to the end of the aisle and walked down to the stage. Now, if you were picked to go on stage, you did have to wear a mask and you did have to sanitise before you went up. Now, because I was fourth row on the stalls, I was the very first person to get to the bottom of the stage, and I do remember Derren approaching me with the microphone and just asking what my name was, and all I can remember saying is, I don't know, I just can't remember it at all, like it's gone out of my head. Like, nothing is jumping out at me. And he was chatting to everyone else as well, and some people were saying they thought there was the letter U or a V, someone said. And for me, no sounds were popping out, no letters were jumping out, that they were just in my head. Like, my memory was gone, completely gone, which was quite scary, but just very, very odd. Really, really odd. Like, I don't know. I can't describe it. Can't work out how it's done. But yeah, I don't know. And it got to him saying how he could only take about 4 people up onto the stage and do something with them as well. And these 3 men were chosen by Derren. And then he looked at me, pointed at me and just said, I think I'll take you as well. So I got a mask, sanitised my hand and walked over to this like mark on the floor where he told me to stand. And I just stood there wearing my mask, like still confused about what was going on. I had no idea at all. And I do remember him approaching me again and just saying, can you honestly not remember your name? And I just said, no. And everyone else was the same as me. And anyway, the people who were still at the bottom of the stage, their names were brought back. They all remembered theirs. We were all still confused, not knowing what was going to happen. And we all got put to sleep. And apparently, from what my mum told me, as soon as he put us to sleep again, all our heads dropped at the same time, our eyes closed, and we were just breathing normally. And it's just so bizarre. And I'm still bewildered, I really am. And yeah, so our names did eventually come back, because when he woke us up, he did say, when you do wake up, your name will just come into your head, you'll remember it, and your memory will be back. And as soon as I woke up, something, I don't know where it came from, something in my head just said, Lucy. Like something as soon as I woke up, it was almost like a light bulb moment. And it was the weirdest feeling ever to just have it back after forgetting it for so long. And yeah, it was odd. And I remember him asking me what my name was, and I said Lucy, and he went along the line, meeting us all. And yeah, and then I think we were put to sleep again. Yeah, and apparently he was mentioning something about numbers and how, like, in different sequences, my mum had to tell me this bit because I had absolutely no idea what he said. Because when you're asleep, being in that hypnotic trance, in that state of mind, it isn't just like when you're asleep at home. It's almost as if you're underwater and voices around you just seem like muffled, like they're not clear. You can sort of hear certain words, but I couldn't hear a lot at all. And I do think he was still stood next to me, because when I woke up, I do remember him being there. And yeah, it's I don't know. But anyway, my mum said that he was mentioning how in number sequences, 6 is before 7 and 8 is after 7. So when you count to 10, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the only thing I heard was, this is what they'll forget. But I heard that and I was not confused, but I was still asleep, so I don't know what I was thinking. And when I woke up, something did feel like it had gone, like it had with my name. Something just didn't feel right, and I was confused because he just handed me the microphone and put his hands out like that. And I remember him saying, how many fingers do I have? And I just said 10 because that is how many fingers you have. And I was like, is that a trick question? Am I being tested? And I do remember him saying, could you count them for me? So I did, and I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I was like, what? Because I knew that wasn't right. Of course I did. And I was just looking at my hands thinking, what? And I remember he did the same thing. He did move on to the next person. So he moved on to the next person, asked them to count as well, got the same thing as me. And I do remember looking at my hands when he was talking to everyone else and still counting, still getting exactly the same result. And I was just like, it plays with your head. It plays absolute mind games with your head. And yeah, it's very odd indeed. And I was still counting and getting the same result. And he came back to me after he spoke to the last person, and he said, to make sure you just... I can't really remember what he said. I think he said something along the lines of, can I just test something else out on you? Can you finish the film title, Snow White and the... And something in my head just went, 8 dwarves. And obviously, me being a Disney fan, I know it's not 8 dwarves. I know it's 7. But because the number 7 had completely vanished, I just thought there were 8. I didn't think there were 7 at all. I just thought, no, there's definitely 8. And I was so confident in the answer that when the audience were laughing, because obviously it's funny, I was just so confused. I was like, what? And anyway, we all got put back to sleep, and he woke us all up again, and he asked me the same question, and obviously because my memory had come back, I realised it is 7 dwarves after all. And yeah, so I was basically hypnotised by Darren Brown live on stage at the Bradford Alhambra Theatre. And can I just say, if by any chance Derren or any of his team are watching this video, thank you so much for an amazing show, for one, but an amazing experience. Like, it genuinely freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie, it scared me, but it was one of the best experiences of my life. And to share the stage with someone that talented and that amazing, and someone who I've been looking up to for such a long time and wanted to see for so long, like, to get the experience to be hypnotised on stage and to basically meet them, I guess, and just to share the stage with him was an absolute honour and privilege, and definitely something I'll never ever forget in my life. Like, it was amazing. And I'll just mention this now. If you do get hypnotised, if you are used as part of the show, especially if you're hypnotised, you do get checked out to make sure you're okay. Because when he'd done with us, he left someone on stage, but he did say, when you three go down the stairs, do not go back to your seat, because one of my team... Sorry, that's my guinea pigs in the background. One of my team does want to just check you over, make sure you're all okay, and then once you get the green light, you can go back to your seat. So we got taken into this room in the back, and he said, "Are you all okay?" first of all, because it's not something that happens every day. And I was like, "I feel absolutely fine." He asked me what my name was, got it correct, so I passed that test. And he asked me to take my glasses off so I could check my eyes over. And yeah, I was absolutely fine. So he said, "You can just go back to your seat." And I remember getting back to my seat and just saying to my mum, "What the hell just happened?" Because it plays with your head, honestly. Like, you can't quite comprehend what just happened. And quite a lot of people were chatting to me saying, like, "What did that feel like? Like, could you genuinely not remember anything?" And I just said, "No." It just felt bizarre, but definitely one of the best experiences of my life. And weirdly enough, I do think it's made me a better person in myself, because ever since it's happened, I've felt more relaxed. I've slept a lot better as well, which is brilliant. And I do think I will take more risks, and yeah, I think it's definitely improved me. And so thank you, Derren, because it was one of the best experiences of my life and definitely something I'll never forget. And yeah, so anyway, that was my story time. If you did enjoy this video, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn on the bell, as I do think I will have a new video coming tomorrow. So yeah, anyway guys, this is Redhead Boo signing off. Bye!